let's go back to the beginning. How do you get into this, and what is it that you do specifically?
My lifestyle.
No, I mean with the reselling. Let's go into the business part of it.
The business, how I do it?
Well, just what it is that you do. Just
so
the viewers may not know.
Yeah, all right. So in a nutshell, my business is basically I'm a reseller and I'm a streamer. Okay, I source very, very inexpensive sneakers, clothing, apparel, and things like that. I sell them and live auctions. So that's basically what we do on the Whatnot platform. And I'm under Jon Clutch on that platform. Other platforms, obviously, Jon Clutch is the same thing. But the whole sense of that is just to get, because the app is known for getting deals and steals, you're not selling anything at market value, you have to source your inventory so low that when people feel like they got a steal on you, you are able to still profit off of that. So that's why it's very difficult for a lot of people that are just starting on the app that don't have the ton of inventory, don't have the ton of followers to find success on that app. But we happen to be the anomaly there, where from our first weekend, we haven't lost money on a full show ever. Ever. We've lost money on items, but it's never been a complete show where we lose running auctions. We've had shows where we just hung out, talked some shit, ran a giveaway, and yeah, we're not making money. I'm not including those shows. The shows that we do actual auctions, bro, we have profited every show. Profit may have been $20 because it was a rough day, but it was still a profitable show. You know what I mean? So it's just something that the way we've used Whatnot, because we haven't gone into normalcies, right? Anything that's just been common practice on that app, we've separated ourselves. So we're a very unique show in the sense where you can take a break from other shows. Because there's shows that are entertaining as fuck. There's streamers that are great on camera, have great deals, great shoes, amazing inventory, but that's the standard. So when you want to take a break from that, you always know that if you check into our show, it's all right. It's not just constant buying and auctions. You know, you can take a break from that.
Yeah, you see, that's interesting you say that, because I always advise that with people who are trying to like make an income from social.
Mm-hmm.
You can't sell all the time.
Oh
There has to be some balance between entertainment and the money making process.
You can sell all the time if you have a great resource. There's plenty of people that live by or have a family member that just happens to work at this place that they get the stuff below cost, or they get the stuff as tips, or you just happen to live next to a store. The way I started the whole actual reselling, I happen to live next to the only clearance Timberland in the entire United States. So any Timberland across the nation that got clearance down went to this one store that was 2 miles from my house, and I was getting premium Timberlands that retail for $212 for $50. Luck, pure luck. But the more you go out and you start to source, you can come across something that if all I did, and that's all I did was sell Timberlands. And on Mercari, which you don't know me. I just post a picture. Here are the Timberlands. This is my price. You want to pay the price? Cool. So I can't even sell them with my show, my character, my enthusiast. That's how good the prices were, that they sold like hotcakes, bro. I saw what everyone else was posting them for. Like, all right, I'm going to undercut you by about $40. And I'm going to still double my money on every pair. Dude, out the door. Just like that.
What would you say that business acumen, because I would say you would have to have that in you to be able to spot the opportunity.
That's the word. I'm an opportunist. You got to be an opportunist. You have to see everything at its best potential and also figure out what is the worst that would happen. If the worst thing that happens is you try to invest with, let's say, 10 pairs of shoes and they don't sell, you're out 10 pairs of shoes. Is that going to destroy you? Is that going to cripple you? If that will, start off with 2 pairs of shoes. You know, you can,
it's funny, like there's a solution to every problem.
You can scale it to your own resources. I started cleaning my used Timbs. That's COVID hit. We were locked down in the house. We had a bunch of Timbs because we live right there. We were enthusiasts. We grew up in Timberland fucking country, you know? So I love being able to get Timbs for cheap. So I had a lot. I don't need a lot. You know, times were tough. Fuck it, let's clean them up. Let's put them for sale. The same day. They're selling the same day. Shit sits on that app usually for 3-4 days a week too. So we just saw like, what the fuck? We tried something. It yielded amazing results. You keep going. You keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going. So all the money we got, we just reinvested it into newer boots. So I'd go and buy 3-4 pairs. I got a little bit more, and I'll go 4 or 5 pairs. I got a little bit more money, 6 or 7 pairs. And it just kept growing until eventually our whole living room was stacked with Timberland boxes. The only gaps were by the windows, so we had some form of fucking light. But that's all it was. And she understood that as much as she wanted a clean living room, she wanted to be able to sit down and watch TV, she understood that this is something that we just can't pass up on. This has amazing return.
How, in the time that you've been doing whatnot, what has been the most you've made in a single night, and how much did you make towards the end of the year?
Ooh, a single night is rough. We've had some wild shows where we went on selling sprees. And I think a lot of it was probably toward the beginning too, when we were just getting started, but people were so excited at the prices we had because the market was at an all-time high. But I was getting sneakers from the Nike stores with a coupon on top. So since these shoes were selling over retail, I was getting them 15% off retail. So I was getting really good deals. And that's what really started up a big buying frenzy. So I think the first weekend we brought in, what, $5,000?
First like 2 shows.
The first weekend, the shows were probably 2 or 3 shows. We brought in like $5,000 in sales.
And what was the take home on that?
We probably, we cleared after fees, probably, I don't know, just over $4,000.
Wow, that's really fucking dope.
Yeah. So it's, and it varies. Like we have our morning show regularly. We'll probably bring in about $500. That's an average show. We'll clear about 4 and change, which is not too bad. But you're doing 6 shows a week. You add that up, that's decent money.
But you're still also talking, because your show is what, like 2 hours?
It varies, 2 to 3 hours. Yeah, it depends.
That's like $400 to $500 in 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
No one's doing that at the job.
I know, and I'm holding myself back because it's more of a talk show than it actually is a live auction.
Right.
So if I were to just hold off on all my stories and just run item after item after item, we could be making at least, I don't know, another 50% on top of that.
Well, given what you've stated before, would you argue that if you did do that, maybe you wouldn't have this? Because I feel like the audience
100%.
loves the talking.
100%. If I was just an auctioneering robot, I'm not gonna have that time to understand my audience, to listen, to exchange with my audience. Because at the beginning it was very easy. There weren't very many people in the shows. I was a nobody. Now we're the main thing every morning, and we have regularly 100 people in there at any given point during our morning shows. So it's hard when, not everybody chats, but at least 15 to 20 of those 100 people are in there plugging away. And the messages, it's not like they're coordinating who says what. Sometimes 8 messages come in 2 seconds, and I got to go back and try to read each one. So by doing that, they're understanding that what's important to me is them, not the shoes. That's what separates me from a lot of other streamers, that it's not just business here. This is about what comes first is my relationship with my customer base and my community, because it is a community. Because a lot of them aren't customers. I just took a phone call with somebody. He says he's been watching my show for months, has never bought a thing, but he won't miss a damn show. So I can't even call them customers. It's the community that we've built.
That's a real thing. I've worked with other people that they have fans of their shows, but they won't buy a product.
Yeah.
And I've had to explain to people that that's a thing that happens. When you're working on these social spaces, you have to figure out who's who.
Oh yeah.
Because you have to entertain everyone, but you can't live off of the people that aren't buying.
Right.
But there is a distinction, because sometimes people think that, I got 20,000 views. I was like, yeah, but how much did that generate?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? There is a ratio to that, and I'm glad that you spoke on that, because I feel like most people don't think that's real. You know what I'm saying? But you've had your success. It said that you've pulled back to upsell in value to the audience through your story, and it's become a crucial component.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Where I think a lot of people kind of go in the opposite direction, and they don't anticipate that the audience that they think is their buying audience is not actually buying. They're not prepared for that, and so it discourages them from continuing.
Ooh, you got to understand that. So that to me, it is like you said. A lot of people don't understand that's a reality. That's a super reality. More people are window shoppers nowadays. More people are going around to find new forms of entertainment and new ways of spending time on social media, because there's so much to choose out there. So when guys are selling things, you got to understand that everyone's a potential customer, but not everyone's going to buy. They don't need that size. They don't need that color. They don't need, whatever it is that you're selling, it's not going to apply to everybody. So you have to make sure that when you're doing this, you at least treat everyone with respect and fairness, and then you'll kind of, it'll trickle through the people that actually want to purchase things from you, because you treated everyone fairly. Go, okay, I feel comfortable enough to buy now. And the people that are just be on the sidelines, they appreciate that. They like the generosity, or you being genuine, whatever it is, the reason that they're there for. They're going to continue as viewers. But the viewers have a intangible value, because you don't know who's watching. You don't know whose cousin's a producer, or a this or a that, or whatever it is you're doing that can help you. That all he can do or they can do is hey, have you checked this guy out?